Well, I'm gonna assume we're live. Twitch has changed their dashboard again, so it's a little hard to tell whether we're live or not. Piggy Dicer says live, so clearly we're live then. Today we're back for another day of Advent of Code. It's going to be day 5, which lines up with December 5th in Eastern Time, but it's actually December 4th for me. And if you're on YouTube, you'll want to skip ahead to, well, you don't have to skip ahead. You can watch the intro if you want, because the intro is fun stuff too. But if you want to skip ahead to the actual program, this is the timestamp that you go to, so somewhere around minute 10:50 or so. The timestamps will also be in the description. But yeah, I only did one little thing offline, because last stream I was significantly inebriated, and so some of the code I wrote was less than ideal, so I went back and I cleaned it up a little bit. So here's the batch that I did this morning to make the code slightly better. So basically the requirement for yesterday's day was to pick numbers between a segment that satisfied a bunch of requirements. One of the requirements was that the length has to be 6, so I just added a comment there to make that more obvious. This is how I was checking whether it was sorted last time, which worked, but was unnecessary in 2 different ways. First, converting to integers didn't matter. I could have just compared the strings to begin with. And it's much simpler to just sort it and see if it's sorted. That would have... This is way simpler than this thing. But, you know, drunk me was like, this is how we're doing it. And it worked, so, like... I mean... as long as it works, that's what matters, right? But anyway, I fixed that, so slightly less weird code. And I realized the trick that I was using from part 2 I could also use in part 1, which is to use a counter. Counter basically, like, you give it an iterable and it tells you how many of each thing there is, and so I could feed the string into a counter and then check if the largest count was greater than 1, and this is how I knew that there was a repeated digit. So that was how I fixed part 1. Part 2 is mostly the same, so I took those first 2 things again, so length and the sorted thing, but then I realized that I could just check if, so before I was doing this loop over all of the most common things in the counter, and I realized counter has a dot values, and so I could just check if any of the counts were exactly 2, and so that made the solution a lot easier. Also, I know that because there's some count that's exactly 2, that we have some repeated digits, so I could eliminate one of the checks from part 1. But I did that, and wait, I'm just trying to get my update my timing information, because the code changed slightly. I don't expect it to make the timing all that different. Part of what am I typing? Input.text. How much time do we have before we start? We have like 8 minutes. Perfect. Hey, what's up, the new Boston? Game time. Yeah, we're almost there. It looks like, looks like the solution is slower than before. I don't know. It's fine. I think the code's cleaner, so that's what really matters. Oh, it's a lot slower. Huh. Wonder why it's a lot slower. Maybe sorting. Maybe the sorting is a lot slower. It's interesting. Whatever. The code's cleaner, so. Yeah, it gives the same result, so that's, I think, what matters more to me. 3, 4, 5. Even if the code's slightly slower, it's probably only slower due to the construction of lists, if I had to guess. But that's fine. We can make the code slightly slower. I actually had a thought earlier today. I think part 4 I could have solved just using SQL, so if we have some extra time, I might try and re-implement day 4 in pure SQL, which I think would be hilarious. But we'll see what day 5 looks like. Maybe day 5 will be also doable in a meme fashion. But what are you mad about? So, trailing white space, probably because I tab completed this and it puts an extra space on the end. But, fix that up. I can delete my sober branch. And just to prep for day 6, I'm going to copy my template over. Day 6, day 5. Hello. Part 1.py. Mindful Fox. Mindful Fox says, "Hey, Mr. Sotilli, can Tony come out and play?" I'm sober today. Fortunately, maybe another day, but not today. Today will be a just nice and chill, clear-minded, hopefully a pretty normal stream. I'm a little bit tired though, so that might impact my performance. That sounds fucking weird. Why did I say that? I went for a run right before this, and so now I'm kind of in the, like, I want to go to sleep mode, but we gotta do some code. I'm gonna do this AOC, but yeah. I'm gonna open this file before we get started to save myself typing that out, because I've realized that, like, every other advent of code day, I've waited for this timer to tick down, then clicked this, then typed out nano input.txt. You know, I'm trying to get that, trying to maximize my seconds here. You know, those precious milliseconds matter a lot. Mindful Fox says a light drizzle. Kyogre used drizzle. Yeah, true. I actually have... Oh, where is it? Hang on. My old manager made this really cool etching of, let's see if you guys can see it. There. Like an etching of Kyogre, because I really like Kyogre. It's pretty cool. It sits on my dresser. I like it. But anyway, that reminded me of that. But it's pretty cool. He basically plotted it, I think he plotted it out in like CAD, and then had a milling machine that basically just followed. I'll have to ask him how he did it, but it's pretty cool. He's like, what Pokemon would you want to see on on acrylic? And I was like, I think Kyogre would be pretty cool. And he's like, what's that? And I was like, oh, here's an image from Google. And then he turned it into real life. But it's pretty nifty. So anything else we need to prep before we go? Sucladum says, hey, good luck with today's puzzle. Yesterday was a pretty cool stream. Yeah, yesterday was pretty wild. If you want to check out that stream, it's up on YouTube. So youtube.com/AnthonyWritesCode. If you want to see me very, very drunk, doing an Advent of Code Day. And also singing the Pokemon theme song, because that was a thing that happened before we got started. But yeah, that's the thing that's on the internet that I'm sure will never bite me in the ass in the future, but what are you gonna do, I guess? I don't know, they'll have to sift through like hundreds of hours of footage to find that. Definitely gonna check it out now, yeah. I think it's at like, let's see, what was the timestamp? Somebody put it in my Discord. Timestamp is at 491 seconds, if you are so inclined. But it's pretty funny. It's me writing some bad code because I can't keep it together. I don't know, actually I'm a little impressed with what I was able to do in that state of mind, because like getting out of the lift and walking to home was a stumbling mess, and then my first thought was, oh shit, I have to stream. RIP verbose variable. Oh yeah, I got rid of the verbose variable name. Yeah, so there's no longer one is exact. Oh, it was part 2, wasn't it? Yeah, there was some verbose variable name here, but I got rid of it. But yeah, that was a thing. But yeah, I don't know if you heard earlier, Mindful Fox, if I have some extra time today, I'm gonna try and, unless day 5 is easy, I'm gonna try and redo day 4 just using SQL, because I think it's doable if I can figure out a way to make a loop. I think the hard part is gonna be the like last part of the code where I have counters, but I think okay, this is what I was thinking about during my run today. I was like, I think I have an idea on how to implement that. At least part 2. Part 2 should be not so bad. But we'll do that one for the memes. I wonder if we'll get a 502 today when we try and open this up, but hopefully not. Let's see. And the other problem with the new Twitch layout, so this is a new Twitch layout. I basically only used the dashboard for one thing, which is to look at the view count, and now it's like super non-obvious. I really don't like that. Like I would glance over it and look at it, now it's like completely different. I'm complaining now, but it's probably just that there's change, and I'll stop complaining in a while. Push, modify it yourself. Yeah, true. All right, here we go. Day 5. Copy input. Oh, we got a lot of numbers. Okay, they're all in one line. That shouldn't be so bad. All right, you're starting to sweat as the ship makes its way toward Mercury. The elves suggest you get the air conditioner working by upgrading your ship computer. Blah 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 blah. Something. The test program will run on your existing intcode computer after a few instructions. Okay, cool. So we're going to copy the intcode computer. What was that? Day 2? Yes. We'll leave that test there. First, you'll need to add 2 new instructions. Let's just code these real quick. We're gonna try and get points today, guys. That's my goal. Opcode 3 takes a single integer as input and saves it to the address given by its only parameter. Oh, we got variable length stuff now. Okay. Takes a single parameter as input and saves it to the address given by its single integer as input. Saves it to the address. For example, the instruction 350 would take an input value and store it at address 50. Take an input value and store it at address 50. Does that mean it takes 2 parameters? I'm confused. Opcode 4 outputs the value of its only parameter. For instance, the instruction 450 would output the value at address 50. Programs that use these instructions will come with a document that explains what should be connected to the input and output. Okay, so it is going to grab an input. Okay, cool. Second, you'll need to add support for parameter modes. Each parameter of an instruction is handled based on its parameter mode. Right now, your ship computer already understands parameter mode 0, position mode, which causes the parameter to be interpreted as a position. If the parameter is 50, its value is the value stored at address 50 in memory. Until now, all parameters have been in position mode. Now your computer must understand immediates. Okay, I understand how immediates work. Parameter modes are stored in the same value as the instruction's opcode. The opcode is a 2-digit number based only on the 1s digit and 10s digit of the value. That is, the opcode is the rightmost 2 digits of the first value in the instruction. Parameter modes are single digits, 1 per parameter, read right to left from the opcode. The first parameter's mode is in the hundreds digit, the second is in the thousands digit, and the third parameter's mode is in the 10,000s digit, and so on. Okay, so you'll integer divide to find those. So the program here, this is the opcode, which is multiplication, and then this is the mode. So this is address mode for this one, address mode for this one, and then immediate mode for this one, I guess. Yes, immediate mode. Okay. The instruction multiplies its first two parameters. Okay, cool. Yeah, I get that. It's important to remember that the instruction pointer should increase by the number of values in the instruction. Okay. The test diagnostic program will start by requesting from the user the ID of the system to test by running an input instruction. Provide it the ID for the ship's air conditioner unit. It will then perform a series of blah blah blah. It will run an output instruction indicating how far the results from the expected value, where 0 means the test was successful. Non-zero outputs mean that the function is not working correctly. Check the instructions. Finally, the program will output a diagnostic code and immediately halt. The final output isn't an error. An output followed immediately by a halt means the program finished. If all outputs were 0 except the diagnostic code, the diagnostic program ran successfully. After providing 1 to the only input instruction and passing all the tests, what diagnostic code does it output? Okay. Man, that's a lot to change for this, I think. So the opcode is the first digit, or did it say the first two digits? 2-digit opcode. Oh man, we're gonna have to implement a lot of operands or operations eventually. But that's fine. So this is no longer an opcode; it's an instruction. Oh, this makes sense because we already had a 2-digit one. We're gonna mod 100 to get to the opcode, and then we're gonna have some sort of function. Parameter. Okay, so mode will be instruction. Wait, we need to get just the tens place out of it, so we need to divide it by instruction divided by n to the, or 10 to the n. And then mod that by 10. That should get us our position, right? So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to get the second parameter, we would do 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 10 to the 2, and then mod 10. Integer divide. Yeah. And if we want to get the third parameter, it would be 1. And the fourth parameter, 5. Okay, cool. That's the mode. If mode is 0, return program. Program PC plus n. Why did I do these out of order before? That's so weird. Why did I do these out of order? It didn't matter because it's commutative. But that's fine. So parameter 1 will be program counter plus 1. Yeah, okay. elif mode equals 1. Return. Actually, this is program of program. Yeah. Okay, so that should work. Oh, but this doesn't work for assignment. Assignment's a little bit different. But that's kind of fine. Instruction 1 plus parameter instruction 2. So that part is done. But we need an assignment. So this can be get parameter, and then we can do set parameter. Hey, what's up, Imminent Madness? How's it going? Are you done with the problem already? Okay, so if it's mode 0, then program a program of PC plus n equals value. Otherwise, program... Wait, if it's an immediate... How the fuck does immediate mode work for assignment? Can the left-hand side not have that mode? In immediate mode, a parameter is interpreted as a value. If the parameter is 50, its value is simply 50. I don't think you can store in an immediate mode. That doesn't make sense, does it? You store at address 50? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think you can assign to immediate mode. Alright, opcode 3 takes a single an input and saves it to the address given by the only parameter. Okay. And we know that for the first one, it's always address, always getting it 1 as the value. Program PC plus 1 equals 1. 1 is the hard-coded inputs. And then 4 is output. So I think we just have a callable for output. Opcode 4 outputs the value of its only parameter. For example, the instruction 450 would output the value at address 50. Okay. So I think this one involves the parameter mode stuff, so... I think that's what we want. We don't have tests again, I don't think. Because we don't have any example input. We still load the... Still load this, and our function is just gonna be print, I guess, for this. Of course. Typing import callable. No tests. Expected 2 blank lines. Undefined name parameter. Right, we renamed it but didn't fix it. Okay. Unreachable. On line 51. What was opcode there? Opcode was 6. Well, we screwed that one up. Zoomer says, "What's up, my brother?" Do they give us a shorter sample program? They don't. Oh, they do. Well, listen to this. It's important to remember that the instruction pointer should increase. Yeah, we got that. Integers can be negative. Index out of range. Okay, so that's clearly part of the problem. Program 1101, and so the opcode should be 1, and then Python for the Pi stream on PyTwitch, yes. N is 1. These should both be in immediate mode, but it's not immediate mode. Instruction is 1101. 10 times n is 10. It should have been 100. Okay, so I need to add 1. Ten raised to the n plus 1. So this should terminate and tell me this is the program, so it should have stored what, 99? Stored at position 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Wait, why did it why did it crash? It should have terminated. We increment the program counter, so that's fine. Oh, we double increment. Derp. Let's just return the whole program now. None. Why none? What? Oh. I'll return the print the final program. Okay, that's fine. We don't need that though. That is something. That is a number. 181, that's not bad. Continue to part 2. Part 2, the air conditioner comes online. Cool, cool, cool. You'll need to use the test to extend the thermal radiators. The diagnostic program, your program is already equipped for this. Unfortunately, your encode computer is not. Sweet, more opcodes. Adding opcodes shouldn't be too bad though. Okay. 5. Jump if true. If the first parameter is non-zero, it sets the instruction pointer to the value from the second parameter. Otherwise, it does nothing. Okay. Elif opcode equals 5. If parameter instruction 1 if the first parameter is 0, it sets the instruction pointer to the value from the second parameter. Otherwise, it does nothing. Is it 0 index? It doesn't actually say. Oh, well, it has to have been, so. Let's opcode 6. 6, jump if false. If the first parameter is 0, it sets the instruction pointer to the value from the second. Otherwise, it does nothing. We had one parameter we did plus equals 2. We had 2 parameters we did plus equals 3. If not, parameter instruction 1. I don't think we're getting points today, guys. 7 is less than. If the first parameter is less than the second parameter, it stores 1 at the position given by the third parameter. Otherwise, it stores 0. Program PC plus 3 equals 1 else 0. 3 parameters plus equals 4. And I'm just gonna guess that 8 is greater than. If the first parameter is less than the second, it stores 1. If the first parameter is equal, oh, this one's equals, not greater than. Okay. Okay. Cool. We added those opcodes, like all instructions, parameter modes. Get the examples. The program uses an input instruction S for a single number. If the program will then output 999 if the input value is below 8. Cool. This time, give it 5. Okay. I should probably make input a parameter, but don't have time for that. Part 2. Thank you for the catch there, NPR. I replaced more than I should have it there. And that looks like an answer. Oh, I was so close to getting points! Damn it! So close. Fuck. Oh, that's frustrating. That's a little frustrating. But the one kind of crappy thing is, it's going to be hard for me to implement this one in another programming language because I can't really build off of what I built before. I could take my C code. Did I do this one in C? I think this is the one I did in C. I could take the C code and upgrade it. That's what you guys want to see. Or, the crazy idea I have is to do day 4 using SQL. Give me my stars. I think I can do day 4 doing SQL with SQL. What do you guys want to see? Do you want meme result or me struggling through C some more? Or rewrite from scratch? I don't really want to rewrite from scratch. Chat, answer me. I do like your emotes, Peaky. Imminent Madness says Mei. Alright, that was what I was leaning towards too. That was what I hope you guys would do. So, we're gonna turn this stream into a SQLite stream. How do man, I don't even know how to change my stream info anymore. Oh, or at least I hope I can do it in SQLite. That's even more memeier. Memiest? It's the most of the memes. We're gonna try and do it in SQLite. Actually, maybe we'll do both things. Maybe the SQLite will be faster than I expect, and then we can port the code to C. But this was actually a pretty good time for today. Let's see. How long? Where's personal stats? How do I do this? Personal stats. There we go. Oh. Day 2, which is what this was based on, was 10 minutes faster. And 10 minutes faster. So I guess at least I'm consistent. But oh man, I was so close to getting points. A little disappointing. Oh, I forgot to git commit. That's how I almost got points. I didn't do my commits. What did I do wrong? Oh. Let's get timing information for the README. Like 383 is our fast one here. And then we'll do part 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our fast one. Oh, we'll do that after this. Day 5, part 1. Missing return statement. Which probably means we'll just make it return none. Which means I can get rid of this extra none here. Cool. Minute Man, it says, dude, Git confuses me. I also have a bit of a custom setup here. So I'm running pre-commit, which is a linter, code formatter, etc. tool, and so it's running a bunch of linters, some code formatters, a type checker, some other stuff. What are those errors right outside of the beginning of the function mean? Those are type annotations. So like, this is an annotation. It doesn't actually do anything, but MyPy will check them for me. This is saying this function returns a list. At runtime, it doesn't do anything at all. It's mostly just a comment, as are these. So this is saying this is expected to be a list of integers. This is expected to be a function which takes one parameter that's an integer and returns none. But yeah, that's what those are about. Let's see, change this to none, and get rid of the print here. And then we had our fast one. What was our fast one? 448? 439? Day 5. Oh, that still has the none. Oops. Interesting. Any reason to do it in Python? Python is currently the language that I spend most of my time in, so I'm the most familiar in it, so I'm the most likely to go fast. Do you mean any reason to do type annotations? I don't know. I think types are great. They help point out mistakes, and I think I write much better code because I have a type checker. Ah, yes, types. You're not just asking why am I writing Python? Yeah. I don't know, but MyPy checks in for me, so that's the important part for me. It's also like something I can lean on as well. If my code is typed, I have a much stronger belief that it's correct, I guess. At least that's my thought. But okay, let's try and do day 4 in SQLite. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of Googling for this, and a lot of trying stuff out, but I think it's doable. Let's see, SQLite loop. That's what we're gonna start with. SQLite loop statements. You can do this sort of thing in straight SQL, an extra table that stores the integers. Create table T, start range int not null, end range int not null. Insert into target I, select ints.I from ints join T. Is ints a special table? No such table ints. Let me just run the code that they have here and see what it does. Create table T. This is gonna be mad because I don't have a file name. Hopefully it's just doing this in memory. That's what I actually want. Insert into T, select star from T. Okay, that's what I expect. Create table target. And run this. I don't know how it's getting the value 2. That's what's confusing me here. Message table ints. Okay, so I guess what they did is they created this table before. That one's not gonna work. Imminent Madness says I would prefer a strongly typed language then. Yeah, I would also. But I'm less fast at a full strongly typed language. Okay, so this solution is not going to work because it requires some other thing. You can make loops in SQL with recursive triggers. Oh, this sounds like what we want. This sounds like we want. Alright, let's try this. Do we need the same schema? We just care about target. We don't actually care about the other thing, I think. And I'm gonna cheat a little bit on the input because the input's given like this, but I think I'll just hard code those numbers because I don't know how I would parse that. Actually, let's see. String parsing functions SQLite. String parsing string functions. We have substr. Okay, that one's useful. Inster. Find a substring in a string and returns an integer position. Okay, so we can use the input. We'll be legit here. Day 04. Part 1 dot SQLite. Create table. Let's see, is there a drop table if it exists? Is that a thing in SQLite? I'm pretty sure, right? Drop table if exists. Okay. Drop table if exists. Create table range. Bobby drop tables, yeah. Create table range, which will be int not null start, int not null end. And this is where we're gonna put our input into. Actually, do we need that? Oh, this is so clever. I like this. Okay, so we will use that. Music, why have you stopped? Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Insert into range values. Rang. And we'll do a select. Yeah, we'll do a select. Insert into input values, and this is where we'll use our hard-coded. What's redo a nano? Alt-E? Yeah. I know what it is in Babby, because it's a much less wacky input. Insert into input this. So we're gonna delete all of our tables just to do that. Create table input, insert into input values. Okay, so this our puzzle inputs. We'll store the integer range derived from our puzzle input. What is a comment? What's the comment character? Comment character sqlite. Dash. Okay. Cool. Insert into range. Been a while since I've written SQL. Oh no, I ended on W3 schools. Can't do that. Can't do W3 schools. Anything but W3 schools. Insert into target table column list query. Okay. Insert into range. Start end. Select. I basically need to select a single row that has this value in the front and then this value in the end. Select substr. Input inster input dash. It should be 0 that probably. From input. No such column input. Whoops. Whoops. Let's try that again. I tried to use the keyboard shortcut for replace in Nano without thinking that, oh wait, I'm not actually in Nano, I'm in a select substr value 0 inster value dash. No such column value. Is it called string? Did I fuck this up? Is this backwards? Okay, I'm dumb. column name and then the value. Why does it let me call it? It's dumb. That's dumb. Okay, so that gets us our 2 values. So that's actually not bad. And now we need to do the fun stuff. This is a cool song. Yeah, I like this song. Unless you're talking about the song before it. Which was probably also a cool song. But I really like this one. Turn it up a little bit, right? Oh, it's super loud. Okay, now we need to do this crazy loop thing. So, pragma recursive triggers on. Here's the magic to create our integers table. Copy this. Create temp trigger for insert on ints when what is new? When new.I is less than select range.end from range. Again, insert into ints values new.I plus 1 end. Okay, kick it off by inserting a value. Now this is super loud. Insert into target. Oh, we're calling it ints. Values. Select. Start. Select. What do we call it? Range.start from range. And actually, now that we mention it, this is not called string. Fix that. Okay, so that should get us our integers, hopefully. Let's run this. Line 19. Near semicolon syntax error. No such table ints. Oh, we need to do that. Create table ints, and that should just have I ints. Error near line 20. Create temp trigger. What is it mad about? Is it mad about that? No. Create. Let's see if I do it lowercase. Create temp trigger trig. Oh, there should not be a semicolon here, maybe? Yeah. Error near line 20. Near semicolon. What am I doing wrong here? Alright, let's just try running exactly what they have. Kind of hard to copy and paste because they did it in a weird way. Copy this. This is so hard to copy and paste. Cool. Nope, didn't copy properly. Oh shit, no. Please just give me a syntax error. Or insert on target. New.I. Oh, is that what it is? Is that the problem? I called it I. Oh, we'll find out. If this works, then I will change the names of my tables and copy and paste. Okay, that worked fine. Then we need the last one. Okay, so their thing works. What is different? I'm gonna open this on another window. Well, that didn't work. So I can look at them side by side. So sorry you guys can't see that. Let's see. Add the pragma. Create temp trigger. Spelled right. Trig. That hopefully doesn't matter. Before insert on table name. When new.I is less than insert into int values. Yeah, this looks the same as theirs. Let me try lowercasing it. Oh, not that one. We know that one can be fine. Create temp trigger trig. Before insert on ints. When that can hopefully be that way. In and Too many levels of trigger recursion. So what part of this can't be capitalized? I like my sequel to scream. We're gonna have to do something slightly more clever here. Probably insert a series of values at once. And hopefully that will make it work. Or did I just have a typo? I must have had a typo. I'll have to see that in the VOD. Aneurysm says, "This is madness, I love it." Well, now we need to figure out how to avoid this trigger recursion problem. Because this should work, but there's too many numbers in this range. And so it's probably it's recursing like 600,000 deep. So we need to make it recurse not so deep. We can reduce it by a factor of 10. Let's see. Insert multiple rows. It's almost like I've searched this before. Insert multiple rows in SQL. You just comma. Okay, cool. So we should be able to do this. New.i plus 2. New.i plus 3. I think if we insert 10 values at once, then that'll reduce it by a factor of 10, maybe? Split it in 10,000 chunks. Yeah, that's the plan. Something like that. Hey, what's up, Kushimi-tama? It's going alright. I'm sober today, so maybe it'll be less fun of a stream, but we're also doing madness with sqlite, so... so that's 5, and this will get us 10. Let's see if it works with 10. That would be ideal. And new.i, is there a mod function? Modular arithmetic sqlite. Oh, sweet, we just have a module operator. Perfect. Well, that works. Yushimi Thomas says, "Is that our language of choice for today? I was going to suggest some lulcode.org. So the problem with today's problem is it's based on an earlier day, and so it would be kind of boring. Like, I wouldn't want to rewrite the whole thing from scratch because that would take too long. And I think it would be kind of boring for me to just like fix the C solution. And I had this idea while I was out running today that I could do yesterday's problem in SQLite. So that's what we're trying to do. Oh, it got further that time. So I think this idea will work, maybe. Or it's just slow. Is there a way I could reduce this logarithmically? Probably not, so I probably have to do... I guess I can make another trigger. Kind of have to do, like, I have to do this kind of by hundreds. Oh, also, this is gonna insert too many values at the end. Oh, I can just do delete from at the end to trim off the extra ones. Generate the values you want with Python and dump to CSV and ingest CSV into the SQL table. That's cheating. We're doing this purely with SQL. This is our problem input. We're gonna do the whole damn thing in SQL. That is the meme. If I did it in Python, that'd be cheating. It's super easy if I just insert all the numbers. We're trying to do without inserting all the numbers. Let me see if their example has a better answer here. Oh, there's another one here. Apparently, the looping construct in SQLite is with recursive. Oh, this is way simpler. This is way fucking simpler. With recursive NNN as this thing. Yo, this is way easier. Insert into naturals. N is an integer. Let's try this. I think this one is going to be way more promising. We don't need quite that. Dope. That's so much easier. Okay. Don't even need this. With recursive. Select. Select range.start from range. Union all. Select n plus 1 as new n from nn. Where new n is less than, select range.end. Insert into ints. Select n from nn. That works. This is way, way better. Recursive is a keyword in SQLite. My editor sucks at highlighting. It's nano. I'm not sure what you expect. Line 19. Syntax error near line 19. Off by 1. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere, guys. We're getting somewhere. We've got our table of integers. And then the rest is just writing the select query. This is the magic here, filling out this where clause. Looks like something with primes. Okay, it's not quite with primes. That's just the example that I'm stealing from Stack Overflow. Which actually, I should link that because it helped me a lot. This particular one is doing primes, but we're not doing primes. Adapted from that. Fucking thanks, Nano. Hey, what's up, Kiss Me? It's going well. I'm running sqlite, solving some advent of code with sqlite. So slightly masochistic. That's what's going on. All right. So the first thing that we have to do here is why not bash again? Well, I don't want to repeat a language. This is also yesterday's problem. If only the Babby editor was installed, Pepe Hands. Yeah, right? Biker B says, are you doing the language roulette? Yes. However, today's problem is an extension from a previous problem, so I didn't want to spend the whole time to rewrite it, so I'll probably do that off camera, or if I get this done quick enough, then we could rewrite it on camera. But yeah, Perl tomorrow, please. I don't know any Perl, but I can try Perl tomorrow. Yeah, we're done with Stack Overflow, I think. So we need to satisfy these constraints. We're gonna do part 1 first. It is a 6-digit number. sqlite 3. If I remember right, everything in SQLite is a string, even integers, right? Length. Where length int.I equals 6. Okay, so we got the first condition down. That one's easy. We need to then check if the number is sorted. The values in the range. Yeah, fine. We already selected the range. So these two constraints are done. 2 adjacent digits are the same. That one's gonna be hard. Actually, this one's not gonna be hard. We're gonna cheat a little bit though. I'm sure there's a more clever way to do this. But I think this might be the easiest way that I can think of. I think that'll be that. Let's see. A lot slower now. Numbers getting smaller. It's good. And then we need to do the increasing. This actually, I don't think is so bad. Part 2 might be tricky though. I'm gonna use the cheatsy way that I had my original one for the Python solution, which is just to compare each character. Substr inst.I 0 1 is less than or non-decreasing? Never decrease, so they're always like this. Oh, there should only be 5 conditions. Yeah. Whoa. Is that the number that I got? No. Something is wrong with this. The number's too high. Interesting. And we can kind of debug this. Let's select 100 of them. Oh. Yeah, so the decreasing check is not working. Let me make sure that these substrings are right. Nope. How does the substring function work? Medium Hard Boy says, I spent longer than I'd like to admit on today's AOC for a really stupid reason. What tripped you up? Subster. Art length. Oh, length. Blech. But 01 should be that should be fine. How did I get this right before? Start is an integer that specifies the starting position of the return substring. The start can be a positive or negative integer. Oh, they're one indexed? What kind of bullshit is this? Ugh. Theory, I have the right answer now. I'm doing day 4 in sqlite. That's right, T-Bod T. I was so close to getting points today. I was off by like 5 people. It was so sad. I think that was my answer though. So I think that's part 1. Day 4, part 1 in sqlite. Oh man. Okay, so now to do part 2. Now to do part 2. And the difference in part 2 is it has to contain a segment that's exactly 2 length. This is at least 2. Oh. Does that work? Maybe? I thought you were doing the int code thing today. That would have been so much more epic. You're right. I might redo my int code in C. Because we already did it in C. Actually, we'll probably rewrite that from scratch, so I'll just learn another language. 8, 9. Yeah, the int code one, that would have been completely fucking hardcore. If someone can do that one in SQLite, then my god. Like, I thought I had no life, but that's some next level shit. Oh, I'm still running part 1. Error near parenthesis on line 31. Probably that. 1306, that doesn't sound right. Oh, it is right. Damn. I think I saw in Hacker News that someone wrote a C to SQLite compiler. Any language where you can pass by reference would be good. Oh yeah, for doing today's problem. But anyway, that's day 4 in SQLite. I did it. Oh my god. Actually, I don't think I need a database for this. I think we can just run it in memory, right? Yeah. It's fucking epic. Oh my god. Implement day 4 in SQLite for the lulz. Yeah, GG, A Minute Madness. GG. But actually we have quite a lot of time, I think, so maybe I can rewrite my int code in some other language, because I did it in Python originally. That's the same directory we're already in. So I can port this to some other language. It's actually not that complicated. Oh, this looks wrong. Where's this code from? Oh yeah, this is before we had the other opcodes. No, this is right. I don't feel like C would be flexible enough to compete in. Oh yeah, because you're trying to get points. You're on the leaderboard, if I remember right. I think I saw you there. Leaderboard. Yeah, you're top 50. Like you're fucking hardcore, my dude. next level. You're in it for the points, while I'm in it for the streams. So. I'm in it for the viewers. I'm in it for the memes. Let's be real. Blue Pichu, though, you are some sort of crazy man. Wait, is his name Matthew Savage? That's metal. That's metal. I like it. I'm also in it for the fun. The points are part of it. It's fair. It's fair. I almost got points today. I was so close to getting points today. Look at how close I was getting points today. I'm a little disappointed. Disappointed. But I actually did day 2 in C, so it actually wouldn't be too hard to redo or extend day 2 for C. I could show that real quick. That actually wouldn't take too long. Yeah, because here's my day 2 solution. And I don't need to do it as a callable. I can literally just print. So I think I'll quickly do this, or redo the C solution. That's not so fun though. You finished at number 50 last year and I didn't get points half the time, so I'm hoping to do better. I mean, top 50 with only half the time points is pretty darn good. Rust. Today could be the day that we do Rust. Should we do Rust? Yeah, let's do Rust. Why not? I kind of wanted to save Rust for a more complicated day, but I think this one's probably complicated enough. Rust getting started. Actually, let me look what I did last time I did Rust. Anthony writes code, AOC 2018. I hear there's better stuff than what I did last year, so... we started with a cargo.toml, which looks super great. I have cargo installed. We'll upgrade Rust first. Rust up. Update. Oh, looks like I did this not too long ago. A month or so ago. I was thinking of doing Rust, but there's not anything particularly complicated here memory-wise, so no real challenge. Yes, you should upgrade. Oh, yeah, that's what I've learned about Rust. You have to be on the latest version, otherwise, what's the point? But you're kind of right. I kind of did want to use Rust on a later project, but... I don't know. This one's not super interesting because it's just a bunch of mutables. Mutable sequence of things. And this is the only clever bit of this problem. No reason you can't use it on more than one day. It's true. But I kind of wanted to use a different programming language every day. And I guess if I use it on another day, I would also use it twice. I don't know. I'm gonna run out of programming languages, to be honest, because I don't know a dabble enough in 25 programming languages. So then again, I didn't know like the crazy SQLite bullshit that I did today or the bash crap that I did before. I've been using Python every day. Yeah, I use Python and then one other programming language. So like day 1 I did Python and C++, day 2 I did Python and C, day 3 I did Python and bash, day 4 I did Python and Java and now SQLite, and day 5 is what I'm gonna try and do in Rust. Hey, we cargo initted. But did I do part1.rs? How did I do this before? Source bin. Something like that. T-Bod T says, does using Z3 from Python count as a different language from Python? I think. So I'll save Z3 for at least one of them. I did use Z3 for one of the problems in 2018 because I just could not figure out, like I couldn't wrap my head around the, this was the one, if you remember, the one with the, I forget what they were, but they were octahedral tops basically, and you had to intersect them and like figure out the ones that were closer. And I implemented a slow solution that worked, but was never gonna terminate using the larger input. So like I got it terminating for the small input, but then I used Z3 to optimize it for the large input. Aneurysm says Z3 is cheats. Yeah, Z3 is cheats. It's basically describe the problem and then it hand wave magics and does itself, which is, yeah, arguably cheats. Okay, so we're gonna do the same pattern as before. I can probably, oops, no, I don't want to Google search for my code. Source bin part 1. I should probably use a real editor that gives me tab complete. That's gonna make me much less sad. But Minute Madness says, oh, my code for the AOTI from the other day passed. 70% faster than other Python code and 100% more memory efficient. Oh, wait, which thing were we talking about? AOTI. I don't know that you were talking to me about that. But maybe I just don't remember. If it was yesterday... Oh, the string A to I. Oh, okay. Oh, cool, awesome, you got it done. Nice. I was... Sorry. Now reading your message, it makes way more sense. I was like, AOT, like advent of TI? Like, what is that? But no, it's A to I. Just a typo. Okay, we good. But yeah, cool, awesome. Yeah, I remember that. That was yesterday. Was that yesterday? I think it might have been yesterday. So I helped you drunk. unless that was 2 days ago. Was that yesterday? Oh, yesterday. Well, Drunk me helped you, so GG on that, I guess. How do I build Rust? Rust hello world program. Probably run Rust C, right? Alright, Rust C source bin part1.rs. Missing module env and standard env and standard process are probably what I need to get started there. Cool. Okay, we got something. Thinky Daisu says, gonna head to bed, good night. T-Bot-T says cargo build. Okay, that is better indeed. Cargo build. Oh, and then you get target debug. What are all these things? Where did that come from? Oh. Okay, that's not so bad. Using plain Rust C is a huge pain as soon as you want dependencies or other files. Okay, well I probably won't need dependencies or other files, so probably wouldn't be so bad, but we will stick with the toolchain that's supposed to be used. Okay, let's see, read from a file in Rust. This is how I read from a file last year, but apparently this is not the good way to do it. Reading a file, cool. FS read to string. That sounds way easier than what I was doing before. Source bin part 1. Something like that. Read to string args 1. That's probably not going to work because I don't expect it to work. I don't know. Cannot move out of index. Standard string which does not implement the copy trait. What? Yeah, you can post links. You don't need to ask. Just go ahead. Yay! Compile errors that I don't understand. Perfect. This error is way too hard to comprehend. I agree. I might just copy paste the code that I did before. I did this before. It wants you to do ampersand args1. Really? But why was this one okay? What does the ampersand mean? Because I know it is address of in other languages. Open this video, skip to 120. 120.
random points on a sphere and consider the tetrahedron with these points as its vertices, what is the probability that the center of the sphere is inside that tetrahedron? Go ahead, take a moment and kind of digest this question.
Oh.
You might start thinking about which of these tetrahedra contain the sphere's center, which ones don't, how you might systematically distinguish the two. And how do you even approach a problem like this, right? Where do you even start?
Right? Where do you even start? That seems wild. In Rust, it's a borrow. Oh. So it's... What does that mean? Does that mean it's like using an immutable version of it? I'm pretty sure it worked in printf because printf is a macro which is magical. I see. Okay, so... I'm gonna make a... So we need to split the string into integers, which I'm pretty sure I did that last year also. How did I do that? s.lines. So that's not quite what we want. Lepidus7 says, what editor is this? I mean, it's my own personal text editor that definitely is completely ready for prime time and totally works as a text editor and definitely isn't just a little demo project right now. No, it's Nano. It's the worst text editor ever. Borrow means you're not giving the string to the function, so you can still use it after calling. Yeah, it makes sense. So it's like ownership of the reference. I'm kind of familiar with the concept from writing like C extensions in Python, where you have to worry about like I guess you have like borrowed and stolen references there too. So it is the same concept. I just always have to look it up probably. I don't deal with the concept all that often. Oh, we don't need this buffer anymore. What does read to string give us? Read to string Rust. Gives us a string. Cool. That's what we expected. Apparently vector elements can't be just given out, so complaint. Kinda makes sense. Split string Rust. How do I split a string? Probably with split. From the documentation. Cool. Split at. What? Pattern can be any type that implements the pattern trait. Notable examples are stir and care. Okay, so that's probably what we want. Can I just chain onto this and do, not chain, dot split? We'll just, we'll get this terrible functional pipeline going. Does seem to be a thing. Then we want to parse all of them as integers. The alternative is args_i.clone, which copies the string, which is sort of the default in some languages, but not in Rust because it might be slow. That's what I was trying to tell you about copy. Oh, I see. That error message that I was completely unintelligible. Actually, what does this return? An r_split, which is an iterator. I assume there's a map. Map transfers one iterator into another by means of its argument, something that implements function mute. Yoshimi Thomas says, alright dude, need to head to bed. Good luck with the rest of the ASC. Catch you later, and GG. Thanks for stopping by, friend. I'll see you around. So after .split, we probably want .map, and I used a parsing last time, but we can probably write an inline function to do that parsing. How did I do this before? Line.parse.unwrap. Why do I not have error handling there? Seems like a problem. I saw the syntax before. Where is an example? Oh. Just this? Should be reusing this window. Let's see. Print a right. Turn iterator into sequence. Rest. Into mutable sequence. What is the mutable sequence called in Rust? Collect. Code doesn't quite compile, but it shows the intention. Turns a collection. Okay, so I think I want collect. That'd be .collect, but who needs when you can just iterate? I guess you're right, it is only moving forward. But we need to be able to modify it, right? Because we need to be able to write into it. This is our, like, mutable code program. And so we need to arbitrarily index into it. So I think we do actually need a collection. Yeah, okay. I'm not crazy. I do actually need collect here. just making sure I understand. How do I show what I have so far? Is that gonna work? No. Consider giving prog a type. Hey, what's up, Sarcastic Dante, with the pew? Pew, pew, pew. Type annotation needed. I mean, yes. Let's see. Explain. This error indicates that the type difference did not result in one unique possible type, and the extra information is needed. Collect method on an iterator has a generic type parameter from iterator bound. How does it not know that it's an iterator of int64s? Like, shouldn't it know? Shouldn't it know that these are int64s? Collect is weird and magical. Okay. So what you're saying is the type difference is not as good as it could be. Okay, that's a thing. We don't have a short bit of code though. I guess we have the ones from day 2. We have these programs. Target debug part 1 input 1.text. Well, we have our first crash, so that's a thing. Main panicked, called result unwrap on an error value. Parse int. Invalid digit. Sarcastic Dundee says, tried adding moving playlist tracks yesterday. It doesn't work yet. I see. T-Bot T says you can write your own sequence type and make an implementation of collect for any iterator that returns it. Oh, so it's kind of like an extension method? There are multi-line comments in Rust? I don't know. Let's see what our intermediate value looks like. Selection of type standard vec standard string cannot be built from an iterator over elements of type ampersand stir. Is there just a difference between string and stir? Is this what I want? No. The answer is no. Oh, what in the hell? Apparently that's not it. Yeah, I agree. Do I want that? This seems nonsense. Surely it's not that. Selection of type vector string cannot be built from that, so no. That's not it. Type stir. Converts a box stir into a string. Doesn't seem what I want. What was the error again? Not that one. I'm just trying to see the intermediate. Function of type vec string cannot be built from iterator item equals stir. Iterator of ampersand stir. Borrowed cannot be created from an iterator of borrowed strings. Is how I interpret that. My guess is I need to unborrow somehow. T-bot-T. That's my guess. You can add s.copyback, but it's s.clone. That still gave me ampersand stirs back. So what I could do is, I know my friend is working on this. I could see how he did it. What is his GitHub handle? Is that it? Is it with an E? Ah, he also has a laggy, okay. I can see what he did for day 2. Because that's essentially what I'm trying to implement right now. Oh, am I missing the trim? I bet that's what the problem is. Oh. Okay, I was just missing the trim. Apparently the Geek Pirate says s.2 owned. Oh, I should change my stream info, because... Wait, why is it reverted back to Python? I set it to SQLite before. Rust. We're doing Rust. Updated successfully. Okay, cool. But we've parsed it into a vector. That's the tough part. I'm gonna stop cheating on this now. Go back to this. So now what we need to do is implement the opcode parsing part. So that shouldn't be so bad. I did it as a function before, but we don't actually really need it to be a function. We can just put a loop in line. In reality, you want to use 2 owned, since that's what you're actually doing to the ampersand stir. Yeah, that makes sense, Geek Pirate. But I was really only doing it to debug, so I don't actually need that. I was trying to figure out what I had in this chunk without this map down here, because this unwrap was failing. Which actually, what did my friend do to make it? What is unwrap versus .expect? Oh, this looks nicer than what I have. Not needing the annotation, but using the particular type here. We good. Everything's fine. Just a little sneeze. Does that work? I know how to copy and paste code. Okay, cool. Where in regards to T-Bod T's last reply? Okay, say. I'm not a Rust pro by any means, just used it in a couple of projects, but holy hell, there's no way I'd be able to do so without using IntelliJ's C-line, since you just get a nice drop down of all the methods. Rust is the only language where I'd need the help. There's hundreds of methods sometimes. Yikes. Well, I'm doing it with a really crappy text editor with literally no tab complete, so we're gonna have some fun there. I've learned a little bit of Rust, and that I know I'm gonna need a mutable integer value. That's a thing, right? Oh, this is cheating. I don't want to look. I'm not gonna look at his code anymore. We're gonna look at my previous code. I also have a let there. I don't know what that means, but let's see. Okay, they look fine. While PC is less than vector size Rust. Safety. This is highly unsafe. Is it just dot length? Dot len. Okay. Prog dot len. Cool. So we can start implementing this essentially switch statement. Oh, that's cool. It looks like Ruby. Sarcastic Dundee says, gotta go to work, have fun with Rust? Yeah, boy. We'll see. Okay, so... transpose in the Python. Is that how you exit in exit from main? Let's see. Return a value from main in Rust. Why does Rust not have a return value? As of Rust 1.26, main can return a result. I guess I'll just exit 0. It seems wrong. That's fine. If it's 1, you can just return. Oh. Duh, that makes sense. I was all fed up with like, how do I return a number? But it's just 0 anyway, so that's fine. We answered this question being no. That never happens, so fine. We do need this parameter idea. Actually, how do these? How do you type annotate functions in Rust? Is it like Python? We type function signature Rust. Okay, yeah, it's like that. And then the return value is after. Where is something that returns a value? None of these things return values. There we go. Wait, what? What is this character? Do they have ligatures? Why would they do that? Why would they make it harder to read? That's an arrow? Yeah, okay. Instruction integer program, which was a vec of I64s. And we have n, which is, I'm not sure, also an I64. And this returns an I64. Mode equals instruction I assume Rust has integer divisions by default. X divided by Y gives 2, but this is wrong. No, you're wrong. That's not confusing. Makes sense, but it's a little confusing. Okay, so integer division works exactly as I would expect. 10 raised to the n-1. Hey, what's up, Grim? Grim is gifting a sub. Oh, paying for the gift sub I got. Nice. Thank you, friends. 5 emotes shared. What does that mean? Gift shared rewards to 5 others in chat. What that means? I don't know what you're doing, Twitch. But thank you, Grim. And now XD has a sub. Is XD in the chat right now? XD is in the chat. Hello, hello. There's some holiday emotes you unlock via bits or subs. Oh, interesting. So you got holiday emotes. See, that's nice. Oh, how's your evening going? How's fun time? I'm writing Rust and I have no idea what I'm doing. Should be for everyone. Oh. Twitch holiday emotes. That was my experience with Rust as well. Are they any good? I like this one. Is that an emote? How does this work? Oh, it's shared to 5 others in chat. Oh. So I would have had to be one of those 5 people. I see. Well, I don't need them. The emotes are for you guys. The ha 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 holidays. Oh, ground. It's kind of cheeky, kind of clever. Let mode equals that. Match mode. Probably have other. I mean, I don't think we'll have other modes later, but. Oh, we also need a program counter. Does Rust let you have local functions? Local functions, Rust. That would be nicer. No, you can. Okay. Then we can do this the same way that we did in Python. Where we had instruction and an I64 to an I64. Prog PC plus N. How do I default in a match block? Ah, Imminent Madness with one of the holiday emotes says haha sweat. Nice. This is the only one that I got. Haha, turtle dove. Fucking derpy. Oh, I guess I could put these on screen so you guys can. Oops. That's not what I wanted. On screen so you guys can see them too. That's haha sweat, and this is haha turtle dove. Oh, it turned them into high DPI mode after zoom. That's crazy. Didn't know it would do that. Nifty though. Alright. Match default rust. I just want... I want whatever I had before, because that... Oh, it's just an underscore. Panic. I think that's what I want. Is that a thing? Yeah, yours is better than the derpy dev Imminent Madness. You got a good one. I guess we should see if this compiles right now. Well, let's do outcode 1. Prog PC plus 3 is equal to parameter Yay, lots of errors, let's see. Expected expression found right square bracket while parsing the match arm starting here. Oh, am I forgetting semicolons? Is that what it's mad about? 6 errors, how many did we have before? Still 6 errors. Suku Adam says, just finished. I love writing compilers. I mean, this one's more of an interpreter, but yeah. Imminent Madness. Immy is fine. I have too many syllables in my name. All right, I'll go for Immy. If I remember that. Do I not know how to access elements in a vector? Is that my problem? Access element in vector Rust. Accessing elements. To get it particular, we use square brackets. Okay. Oh, I have a return here. Oh no, that looks right. Expected expression found bracket is because I'm trying to use a statement. Rust provides pattern matching via the match keyword, which can be used like a C switch. Oh, I need a comma there. Oh. Okay, that's not what I expected, but we can do that. Hopefully it lets me have trailing commas. 11 errors. Yeah, we've clearly gone in the correct direction here. Expected expression. Oh, there's this junk code up here that I forgot to delete. Is that the problem? Alright, now we're down to 8 errors. Can't capture dynamic environment in a function item. Help, use the pipe closure form instead. This error indicates that a variable usage inside an inner function is invalid because the variable comes from a dynamic environment. Inner functions do not have access to their containing environment. Oh. Oh. What? Or put it in an unsafe block. Yeah, that's what I want. Really? It'd probably be easier to make prog back into a parameter or use a closure. Yeah, I guess I'll just make it a parameter. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, there's no white space particular things here, right? So I can just do this. Expected I64 found usize. Okay. Usize. New implementation for usize plus I64. Okay. Slice indices are of type usize or ranges of usize. You can put the thing after the arrow in braces. Oh, is that what it's mad about here, up here? It's mad about my... I64 cannot be indexed by I64. Okay, so this is not for power. Or do I have to use the pow function? I have to use the pow function. Can I do this? Probably not. How is ambiguous on numeric type integer? You must specify concrete for this. Oh. Unexpected argument. Cool. Expected U32 found usize. You can convert a usize to a U32 in Panic by using... this. Alright, sure, we'll copy and paste that. What could go wrong? Hey, what's up, Coding Garden? Thank you for the raid. Welcome to the stream. We're working on Advent of Code Day 5. I already did it in Python. We're trying to write some Rust. And, well, not being super successful, but we're making it happen, I guess. those emotes? No, they're emojis. I see. Mute RX says, "Ew, Rust." I mean, that's currently my my experience, so that's at least consistent. What the fuck? This is the code that it told me to write. There's no try into found for type usize in the current scope. Am I forgetting this? Is that what it is? 3 errors? 2 errors. Okay, I guess that's what it was. Vector cannot be indexed by I64. Mute RX, I'm doing day 5. Part 1, but it doesn't really matter. Part 2 is not that much harder. You should try changing the type of N to I32. Oh, would that make this not needed anymore? Maybe? Expected use size found I32. Unused this thing. Expected U32 found I32. Okay, so we still need this. Make N a U32? Is subtraction well defined for that? Music is a little bit loud right now. Let me fix that. Expected U size found U32. Cannot add a U32 to U size. Oh. Did that decrease the number of errors? Oh, we went from 6 to 4. We're just setting them all to as U size. Oh, borrow checker mad. Oh, we need to do more here. Plus equals 4. Borrow checker time. Yup. VF Davis says, I happen to really like Nano as a code editor, by the way. Ah, you and me both, friends. But yeah, don't mind the bot. The bot's just a troll. I'm actually working on my own text editor right now. In the spirit of Nano, it's kind of a Nano clone right now, but will eventually be a fully featured text editor. But this is Babby, which is my own Nano. It can do some things. I've implemented undo and redo, and search works. And the thing that we spent a couple streams ago working on is search history, so you can scroll back into previous history, and you can reverse search. But yeah, that's my text editor. I'll eventually use it once I have a few more features like syntax highlighting and other stuff. Okay, we got rid of that warning. Cool. Value borrowed here after move. Oh, we want to not move it. We want to we want to reference it. Can I just put an ampersand here and that will fix it, right? That's how that works. Expected reference found that. Consider borrowing here. Is that what I want? Cannot borrow as mutable. Oh, we do actually want to... Wait. Cannot borrow prog as a mutable because it is also borrowed as mutable. Mutable borrow occurs here. Mutable borrow later used here. You should add it's a clone of U of W Pico to the bot. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Syntax is the most important feature, let's be honest. Saving the file is overrated. It can save also. I made that happen. Don't you need to make prog mute? Yes. Is that the entire problem here? We went from 2 errors to 3 errors, so... so no. Move occurs because prog has this type which does not implement the copy trait. Okay, so this is the move here. This is not what we want to do. We want to just pass a reference here. Pass by reference Rust lang. That's surely a thing, right? No, I don't want an article about whether it is. I want to actually pass a reference. Borrowing. At the end of the ownership section, we had a nasty function that looked like this. Hand back ownership. Yeah, that looks like what I want. So, solid ampersand there, and then ampersands here and here. Cannot borrow prog as immutable because it is also borrowed as mutable. Slice indexes are... That's fucking dumb. I need to do this in 2 lines? Where do you get your playlist from? It's a copyright-free list on YouTube. Here's the list here. You do need to do this in 2 lines. Is execution order not I'd file an issue with Rust complaining about it or something. Yeah, maybe if I knew more about Rust I would complain about it, but like, this is silly. Why can't I just do this inside here? I mean, whatever, it's fine. It compiles now. So that means we can implement the other opcodes now. Because that's the hard part, is getting the first thing to compile. So we have opcode 1, we need opcode 2. I'm not at all happy with this code. There's some things that I think are just like very wrong here. But that's fine, I guess. 3 is the assignment 1. Prog IDX equals 1. Hard-coded value. That's opcode 3, and then opcode 4 is the callback, but it's really just println. Okay, so that should be part 1. In theory. Geek Panther says, hey, I'm new here. What are we doing today? So we have this fancy command, which is bang today. We're working on Advent of Code, which is a series of programming puzzles that come out every day in December. Well, not every day until Christmas in December. And today is day 5, and I did my initial solution in Python, and now I'm porting it to Rust. Correct close delimiter. Expected 1 of comma. Got a comma there. What are you mad about? Expected 1 of that, found semicolon. Oh, I have not enough parentheses. Let me see. Unknown op code 25. I'm sure there's a debugger for this, but we're just gonna do it this way. Can I do this? That would be dope. Cargo run cannot determine which binary to run. Oh. That's what I wanted. Also, holy crap, that's a lot of output. Maybe we'll not pretty print this. Is that what it does? Okay, there we go. Okay, the program counter got to 6. I made a post on r/rust, let's see if that helps. But this does. This doesn't, but this does. Yeah. I'll go upvote that in the tab of the browser that I actually use. Have an updoink from me. Okay, so we got to index 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we probably just incremented wrong. See, we should have incremented by 2. Got to here, read these. Oh, and this should have assigned into this value. So our mutation didn't happen. This mutation did not occur. I hate print debugging. Is there a debugger for Rust? I could probably just Google that. There's GDB. Oh, I don't want to use GDB. Never mind. GDB is fine. It's fine for C. I don't know if it's fine for Rust. We'll just print statement debug and I'll just be a little sad about it. Oh, this value is 1325? That seems not right. Should have been in this address. Grim says 100 bits, rip cheer 100. I print debug all the time, much faster in most cases for me. Yeah, I guess like I'll use GDB in like C, C++, and I'll use PDB in Python, and I'll use a visual debugger in like C# and Java. And I don't know, I don't particularly like to use GDB to debug some other language that it's not exactly designed for. And maybe it's fine. Maybe I'm just like completely wrong here. But like when I was writing Go and they're like, oh yeah, just use GDB, it'll be fine. And then I stepped into GDB and everything was just like complete garbage in my face. Just like, okay, well, I guess I'll go fuck myself. GDB with Go is a bad time, but it's how you're supposed to do it, right? Okay, so it should have added 1 and what's the other value? And this. Oh, this should have done an assignment too. This should have changed the memory address in 225 to 1. Oh, which it probably did. Yeah, it did, because we're retrieving that. What is going on here? What does my Python code do for this? This is our program. That is what we see here. 285.66. This is when it crashed. So this number is, these two numbers are different. But that's probably fine. The next time through the loop, we've set whatever 225 is to 1. And now we're at this add instruction. So this number is just wrong for some reason. It should have, all of this should have done, this here should have added 1 to this value. Because this is 1, it's loading from here, so that should have been 1 plus 1100 should have been 1101. And if we see that, we do and get 1101, but here we get 1325, so it's adding 225, so it's treating this as an immediate, so that's the problem. Okay. Trying to figure that out. So it's going into this branch somehow? It somehow got 2 different modes for that one. None of these should be mode 1 at this point in the program. So that's at least part of the problem. I do use Nano. That's probably the other part of the problem, right? You should know I'm not a supposed to coder. True. Did you see my other editor, Mutrix? I do know how to use Vim. I'm just not as fast at it. This is my other editor. It's called Babby. I've written it from scratch. It acts a lot like Nano. Look, pretty colors. Yay. Did someone diss Nano? It's fighting time. This is really hard to debug currently. Let's see. Oh, I didn't want to run that. Yeah, these modes are just garbage, so that's the problem. Clearly Notepad++ was better. Alias Nano equals Vim. I do have an alias for Babby, which is currently alias to Witch Babby or Echo Nano. The original name, or the name for my text editor, is based on QWERTY keyboard, but right hand shifted by 1. It's a common typo that I hit all the time, so I originally set it as an alias, then I was like, oh, I'll just call my text editor that. But this mode is wrong, and I'm using the same math as I am in my Python solution, so... What even... Oh... Oh my goodness. I'm using the same math, he says. I probably don't need this try into anymore. Is the compiler going to tell me that, though? There's some yellow, so presumably... Consider prefixing the variable with an underscore. was debugging. This should run and produce. Let me still have this print here. Okay, so that works now. Right, Python part 1 input.text. Alright, we still have the breakpoint in there. Those numbers the same? 1657461. Okay, those numbers are the same. Let's see if I can get rid of this try into now, just because I think I should be able to. Yeah, dope. That's less bad. Hey bot, which is worse, GNU plus Nano or Vim? Wouldn't you say GNU plus Nano is worse? Yes, god damn it. Clever, Eric, I like it. Mutrix says, what did you do at Lyft? Well, I still work at Lyft. I work on the developer experience. Well, I assume I still work at Lyft. Man, if I go to work tomorrow and I'm suddenly fired, that'd be pretty amazing. I work on the developer experience team, so I build infrastructure for developers. We manage the development environments as well as tools that people run on their laptops and stuff like that. VF Davis, I can't make that typo. My mom encouraged me to, when I start typing, to take the time to feel the F and the J bumps. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, but sometimes I just slam my hands on the keyboard and start typing. Have you seen this? Yeah, I've seen Viv Adventures. I've played it a little bit. I'm just not very good at it. I like the arrow keys. Okay, I think this, so that implements part 1. Oops. And then part 2 is an easy extension from there. It's just adding more opcodes. And changing this value here. So, shouldn't take that long to get to the... So the hard-coded value changes to 5, and then we add opcode 5, 6, 7, and 8, which are our fun branching stuff. 5 is if parameter does Rust have truthiness? I don't know. Find out. Eric says, did you already finish this once? Yeah, I did in Python. Now I'm doing it in Rust. So what I'm trying to do is do it in my primary language and then one other programming language every day. Oh, Eric, you'll appreciate this. I went back and redid day 4 now that I'm sober. But I did it for the memes. So when I was drunk, I did it in Python and Java, but now I've done it in SQLite. It's actually pretty readable too. The final select query is actually pretty straightforward. Mods, please ban Anthony Wright's code. Yeah. So I was trying to be as faithful to the problem as possible and input the input as a string. And so we start with an input table that just has one value, that's the string. I thought this was like the most true to the problem way to approach this. Then I take that input and convert it into a start and end, so by using substring, which apparently this substring call here is just wrong. Oh wait, no, it's right. I fixed it. It was wrong originally. But yeah, so convert it to the start and end for the range. And then this I needed a little bit of help on. So I looked up how to do this like recursive call SQLite thing. And it basically ends up being a select and then a recursive union. And this recursive union, all this is doing is building a table that has all of these integers in it. And then the end query, this I wrote all myself. This is select the number of integers where the length of the integer is 6. I realize I don't need this statement because they're always length 6, but it was in the problem, so I figured I'd write the code anyway. This is an if statement that checks if there are any adjacent integers. There's probably a more clever way to do this with like regexes or something, but I don't think I'd have regexes. Regex. How do I use regex in a SQLite? Oh. How advanced are the regexes? Special syntax for the regex user function. Okay, maybe that's not a thing. But anyway, this is a way of knowing whether they're in order or not. And this is knowing if they're sorted. The number is sorted. This is actually how I originally wrote my Python solution when I was drunk, and I'm actually kind of glad that I did write it that way because it made this a lot easier to write. But anyway, that's part 1, and then part 2 is not that much different from that. Day 4, part 2 dot SQLite dot. So the only difference in part 2 is these conditions here. So this is saying there's 2 adjacent and not more than 2, which is equivalent to exactly 2 adjacent. And it could be any of these, so they're all work together. But yeah, that's day 4 in SQLite. Grim says, drunk admin of code sounds like some interesting streams. The start of an alcohol problem. Yeah, I also drunkenly sang the Pokemon theme song right before admin of code, so that was a thing too. The full footage is definitely not up on youtube.com/AnthonyWritesCode. No, this is sober. The drunk code was the Java code. This was drunk, which I don't know, it's bad Java too. So, and git show part1.py. I improved my solution, so these are the edits that I made after I became sober. Also, my sober solution is slower than my drunk solution, so I don't know what to make of that, but yeah, this was the drunk solution here. My guess is that this conversion to a list over and over and over is pretty expensive, and that's why the timing went up. Or the construction of a counter here might be more expensive, but this was the red's the drunken solution, the green is the decided it was sober and slightly better. But typing this variable name while drunk was a fun time. I think I typoed that variable. I had to type it twice. No, 3 times. I had to type the variable name 3 times. I think I got it right 1 out of 10 or something like that. But it was not bad. I had linters and code formatters to help me, so that's my crutch. But anyway, that's that. All Java is bad Java. True. Implying there's some good Java. Yeah, Kotlin. Kotlin is good Java. C# is good Java. Them's fighting words. I know that'll anger at least someone. Okay, let's see. Opcode 5. That's 5. 6 is the same but the opposite. Oh, I forgot my comma here. C++ is good Java. Okay, I could agree with that. I like C++. I haven't used the not operator. Not operator, wrestling. Bang. Bitwise or logical complement. Dope. That's 6. 7 is the greater than or less than. Let's see, if parameter is less than parameter instruction to prog PC. I don't like that. I'm gonna do this even though I think the prens are unnecessary. Prog IDX equals... Oh, maybe I can just do this. We'll see what the Rust gods say about that. Rust gods are not happy. Imminent Madness says, if you got a sec, can you tell me why this is infinite recursion? Day 1, part 2. Oh, this was the one where, well, probably the first problem is the... if it's greater than 0... Fuel required in total. Okay, so you open the file, you read the lines. For fuel module, this is a string. Convert to a string twice. That's fine. You have a global that's the fuel required. Makes it a little harder to trace, but let's see what we can do there. Fuel required pre equals... Oh. It's infinite recursion because you keep increasing this number as a side effect of this. And you never reset this value back to 0. Right? Yeah, you never reset that value back to 0. So I think that's why it recurses forever. It wouldn't work without the global. No, I'm just grumbling that global variables are make the problem a lot, or make the code a lot harder to understand. Mutrix says Golang is pretty fun, also nice between performance parallelism while also being easy to work with, like Python. Yeah, I've written a bunch of Go. I actually have a terrible... So my passion project is code formatters, code linters, and that sort of thing. So I created this thing called precommit. It knows about get hooks. It also knows how to install things and run them on the right files. So here's a basic example of how you would set it up. You have a config file, and you say what things you want to install, what versions, and which parts of it you want to use. And it manages installing and then running those for you. But anyway, this is my passion project that I spend a lot of time on. But one time, a long time back, I wanted to write a linter for Docker files. And there weren't great ones at the time, and I didn't really want... at the time I didn't really want to write Go. So I originally started working on one in Python, but I found that all of the Dockerfile parsers that are not the official parser had slight differences in their implementation, and so I wanted the true Dockerfile parser that actually worked for Docker files. And so I started instead of writing a Python linter, writing a Go linter. But then I realized I kind of want Python's argparse because it's really nice. And then I had this crazy stupid idea that, and this was right when the Go C interop happened. I think it was Go 1.6 or somewhere around there. And so I got this great idea that I would build a Python bridge between Go and, or build a bridge between Go and Python. And so I came up with this library called Setup Tools Golang. The idea being you, instead of writing C extensions, you write Go extensions, and then this hooks up the stuff that you need to make that happen. So I wrote this whole thing, took forever. There's a lot of like really wacky edge cases and stuff that breaks in mysterious ways, but it's sound once you actually get it to compile. And then after that, I wrote the library that I was intending to write, which is a Go C extension. I can show you what the code kind of looks like. So you need to extern some of the stuff. In particular, like macros are not supported, so you need to like fold out the macros in C and then like create functions around them. But it reads a lot like CPython, so like you return PyObject pointers, you call the PyUnicode whatever functions, and it mostly works. But this is my terrible monstrosity to write a Dockerfile linter, and at the end of the day, I never actually wrote the Dockerfile linter. I got burnt out on the project and then stopped. But anyway, that's my experience with Go. Grim says, I'd be really interested to see some metrics between stack traces between Java and C++. Something tells me they're roughly the same, which is way bigger than any other language. Yeah, well, as soon as you get into like wacky template stuff in C++, you're gonna go really deep. Also, Java is just like kind of do a lot of functions all over the place. Any idea why it wanted to be global? The way you set up your code required you to use a global there. I did mine a little bit differently. 2019, day 1, part 2. Yeah, so we load our file, split the lines, and then I had just one recursive function. And I called that function just for each fuel value. And that way, like, I'm just summing here, and I'm not trying to perform a side effect of calling the function and return a value, which is why your code is getting caught up. Because you're both mutating and returning a value. And by mutating, you're mutating your input as well, and so it's growing up and to the right, and you're never actually decreasing. You're never getting to a terminating recursive state. Like this val is always going up. Base case, that's what it's called. Yeah, you're never getting to a base case. Grim says, I wonder if you found my Dockerfile linter / cleaner. Well, clearly not if I tried to write my own. Did you run in the Go Whiskey library? I did not run into this. Well, it's clearly not this one. That one's empty. Wait, you created a Go version of Python and didn't name it Gothon. Yeah, that would have been great. But no, I didn't. Okay, what are you mad about here? Expected bool found int64. Okay, so it needs explicit conversion there. If parameter does not equal 0, if parameter equals 0, that should fix 2 of the errors. Expected use size found int64. Expected int64 found bool. Surely I should be able to convert a boolean into an int64, right? Bool represents a value which could be either true or false if you cast a bool to an integer. How do I cast? No, I don't need a bookmark. Go away, bookmark. Oh, it's just as. Okay. How do I do this without it looking ugly? Does that work? No, does not work. Probably wants these to be print sized. Maybe that? Okay, cool. It never completed. Okay, there's a bug there. We'll look at it. The idea of this was I started teaching people how to optimize their Docker files. Oh, so it's basically probably just like, oh, your apt line is broken. You forgot to RMRF. Example. Oh, it doesn't say like what the error is here, unfortunately. Where's the, oh, what did I just do? Oh, there's no readme. How do I figure out what I'm supposed to look at? What does it do? Or is this the parsing library? Oh, it's Python. Oh. Oh. Let's see. Didn't get super far, but it works. Nice. Ew, Bitbucket, ew, Git. I see we have the VCS fight in the chat. No, it's fine. You can have your rant. I know you've heard me talk about Mercurial and my struggles. I mostly just don't like Mercurial because I'm bad at it. Okay, so am I editing the right file? Why is it not printing? Okay, so my part 2 is broken. That's a start. Five is the first opcode. Oh. That would do it. These are supposed to be 3. Those are supposed to be 4. Those values are very, very different. So there's more bugs. Cool. You're not bad at Mercurial. The same 6 commands you use in Git are all there in Mercurial, and they all work the same, except checkout is up or updated. Okay. Alright. Hey, what's up, Bathrobe Ninja? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I'm actually surprised that this outputs something instead of just crashing, but let's see. Are we overflowing? Is that what it is? 3, 6. No? If parameter does not equal 0, then we set the program counter to 2. Otherwise, we increment. That looks fine. Or 6. If it is equal to 0, we set the program counter and increment. That looks fine. 7. Oh, here's the bug. Hey, that looks good now. Hey, what's up, One Abino? Thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. And I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. Cargo.lock, cargo.toml. Cool. Re-implement day 5 in Rust. My Rust is terrible, but I will ask my Rust friends to improve it for me. Oh, does cargo.lock not do its whitespace properly? That's so annoying. Why would it do that? Why would it add a blank, extra blank line at the end of the file? Yeah, there's 2 new lines at the end of the file. Damn you, Cargo. Alright, whatever. We can ignore cargo.lock from this fixer. It's not single new line at the end of the file, it's double new line for some reason. Pylint complains if you're missing a single new line, which is fine, I think. Like, I agree with that, at least. But Cargo is putting 2 new lines at the end of the file, which makes no sense. Thought this was gonna be too easy for us. Yeah, it is what I said. Hey, what's up, Bathroom Ninja? Oh, you followed, right. Now you're in the chat. Cool. I have a joke about Rust. How do you get programmers to learn crazy syntax and force them to use a nightly compiler? Promise them memory safety. Ooh, yeah, sad but true right there. Right, they want a blank line at the end. The double is because it had to finish the last line. Yeah, and it'll just keep adding new lines forever and ever. Time for me to hit the sack? Time for me to hit the sack. You and me both, friend. But yeah, let me do my spiel, and then we'll send you guys off to another channel. Close so many of these tabs. But if you liked what you saw here, I usually stream Python, and... Wait, no, I'm jumping ahead. If you missed any part of the stream, you want to catch the rest of it, I usually upload my streams to YouTube after the fact, and that's youtube.com/AnthonyWritesCode, so it's the same as my Twitch handle. You can check out my previous days of admin of code. For whatever reason, day 1 always seems to get like a hilarious number of views compared to all the other ones, but I don't know how to explain that, but yeah, I do upload those to YouTube, and check those out. I usually stream Python stuff, and I usually stream on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is supposed to be somewhat convenient for Europe, but who knows. That's why I switched to that time. But I usually work on open source stuff in Python. Some of the stuff that I work on is like PyTest, or Flake8, or Precommit, or linters, or code formatters, or anything similar to that. I've recently been working on my text editor a lot, so that's what I've been streaming a lot. But yeah, I also announce my streams in 2 places. One of them is on Twitter. I hate Twitter, but it seems to be the thing that has to happen. So I usually announce like, I don't know, an hour beforehand that I'm streaming. And that's twitter.com/codewithanthony. Different than Anthony Writes Code, because Twitter has a character limit on usernames. And I didn't want to be Anthony Writes COD because, I mean, it'd be a fishing channel, but yeah. I also announce on my Discord. There's a link to that in the chat. Free to join. We talk about programming stuff, and the Advent of Code channel there where we're chatting about this as well, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. And there's memes. I promise there's memes. That's how you get all the kids these. That's how you get all the kids these days, right? But But yeah, I think that wraps it up for me today, and we'll go find someone to raid.